Good afternoon. It's a beautiful Sunday afternoon. Just got back from church a little while ago, and we are going back to the fields. So Friday night, we got rained out Friday afternoon. We ended up with about 4/10 of an inch of rain here, but as we moved north and east, we got much less than that, maybe just a tenth or a tenth and a half, something like that, because those fields were dry. They dried out a lot yesterday, specifically yesterday afternoon after the sun came out. And we're heading that direction to go work today. Dad's over that way with the disc. We've got about 100 acres of corn stalks, maybe 120, that can get disked and planted today. And we've got about 72 acres of bean stubble that's going to corn. So, since Dad's in the disc, and Phil's going to go plant beans hopefully here in a little bit, I'm going to take the field cultivator over and get the field that I can do ready, and then we'll come back and get the planter, because I can do both today, and the rest of the stuff is not really dried out and ready yet, but should be tomorrow. Well, let's go! Looks pretty good. We've got some weeds starting to grow out here, so good thing we're getting here with the field cultivator. It'll take those out. We'll get it planted, then we'll get the herbicide on, and I'll take care of anything anyway. But yeah, 72 acres in this field. We're let's see, about 7 miles from the farm to the north and east. Kind of one of the farther away ones that we have got, but this farm goes with a bunch of other ones that we have, so we're going to get it field cultivated and we'll go get the planter loaded up. So this field here is, I'm going to call it rolling. I know some of you guys, this is still flat, but it's got some depressions. There's a big one over there and it gets high up by the house and stuff. This spot right in front of me is as dry as I've seen it in years. Like, we haven't farmed through any of this in the last 3 to 5 years. Now there's a spot in this next pass over that's wet. We're going to have to go around that one. But we're going to make this, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. And it's going to be a lot smaller area that we don't go through than what we typically have. And the spots over there, I'm sure, are all dry. This is the worst one in this field. It's not worth waiting on, you know, 100 square feet. That's maybe a little more than that. 400 square feet area to dry out when the rest of the field is all good and ready to go. And it really is. I mean, we've got lots of dust and it's working up really nice. So this is typically one of the last fields we get to because it's a little bit wetter farm. It's multiple times been the last field that we've harvested, and there's a good chance that it will be again this year, although we're putting 105-day corn here, so maybe not. That's on the earlier side, but I did that intentionally so that we can get here earlier. We're not waiting for the corn to dry down if the ground conditions allow in the fall. But yeah, it's just interesting to me that we're actually here working this now when typically it's not on the early side. All right, we're gonna jump out a second here and take a look at the job that the field cultivator's doing and everything. And see, there's another low spot there, the headwater, but it's dry all the way through there. That's gonna be fine. So we'll talk about our tillage equipment a little bit, since I don't run it a lot here in the spring, but we've got our 9R, the 9510R tractor that we've had for 10 years now. This is a 2210 field cultivator, 45 feet or 44 and a half, I think. And we run 44-foot track spacing. Anyway, we bought them the same time. We got the new tractor. We bought this field cultivator for the wider, for the higher horsepower, because we came from a 9300 that was 365 horse, and this is 510, so needed bigger tillage equipment to go with it. Anyway, 2210 field cultivator, shanks are on 6-inch spacing. We run 9-inch sweeps, shovels on it. Does a good job. We've got this 5-bar spike tooth drag on the back that helps break up some of the clods and stuff. Kind of leaves the finish looking like this, which is not bad, but you still get some chunks and stuff that break apart really easily, and it's just a little uneven. And so then we pull this Brillion packer, pulverizer, I think it's officially called. Breaks the clumps up, smooths everything down, and it just firms it up. It helps conserve moisture. I know that's counterintuitive, but when you have that light and fluffy dirt up in like it is in front there, it gets more airflow through it and it dries it out faster. And once we're to this point, we don't want the ground to dry out faster. It's dry enough to work it and plant it. We now want to conserve the moisture so that we have a good moist seed bed and plenty of moisture for the seeds to germinate and to the crop to start growing. And so this kind of pushes that top a little bit of air out and smooths everything down so it's nice and solid and firm and flat. But we've still got chunks. I mean, it's not powder, and so it's won't crust over too bad. Now if we get a big heavy pounding rain, yeah, our ground's going to crust over, but that's just clay. That's the way it is. Not a whole lot we could do about that. Even if we were no-tilling, it would still crust over. So what I like to see is when we dig down, we have nice loose dirt for 2-3 inches. And then this is the kind of the bottom of where our shovels are running. But even that, you can see I can move it around. The roots will grow through that. That was from the ripper last fall. It's loose, and the crop will grow really nice through that. So that looks good to me. You can see we're pulling the weeds out that are growing here. They're laying on top of the ground, so they will dry up and die here shortly. That's what we want to see. All looks pretty good. Just finishing up here with the field cultivator. We got one last partial pass as we go up along the fence row here, and the end rows in the front to do. And then we're heading back to the farm. We're gonna go get our planter loaded up and head over here and get this one planted. Looks really good. I'm happy with how everything's working up, and I wish we had some more ground that was dry enough we could keep going today, but yeah, we'll go tomorrow. Everything's good. Well, I just got back to the farm here. I'm fueling up the 9R and gonna get that parked out of the way. We've got to get our planter loaded up. You know what the crappy part of this is? This little field change that we did here, because I was gonna plant the stuff kind of across the road, and so we cleaned our planter out the other day after we got done, right? Whoa. The variety that we took out of it, yeah, that's the variety going in this field. Didn't really have to clean it out. Oh well. Loading up our fertilizer. We need 1,000 gallons of our 2x2, and we need about 350 of the in-furrow, which I've already got loaded. Just about up to 1,000 gallons here. She's not an exact science. You get it close enough and call it good. Gonna load seed up yet, and then we're ready to go. I think Rylan wants to come with me today, so I'm gonna go get him before we head to the field. Well, I had my spill seed moment of the year. That door on the bottom of the auger was open from when we were working on the talc applicator the other day, and I missed it. I cleaned up what I could reasonably. It's not worth getting stones in my seat though, so we're gonna forget about the rest. I am pretty sure we're using the rest of this box up. We'll see how close it comes out here. We need about 30 units. We planted some of this out on that last field, so might not be quite all of it, but I don't know that I have it to go anywhere else, so we might just put it all in the planter, and wherever the next field is, it gets planted. According to my scale, I ended up about 200 pounds short of what I'm supposed to have. So I think we're gonna throw like 4 of these bags on. Most of these bags are leftover stuff from last year. Like this open one is what we cleaned out of the planter or whatever we had left over. That's exactly what it's here for. Using up where we needed a few bags to finish a field. So I'm gonna take them, throw them on the platform. We'll just take them with us, and if we need them, we'll use them. If not, great. All right, I got Rylan. Say hi.
Hi.
And we are heading to the field. All right, let's go here. This won't take real long. It's only 60 or 72 acres, so about an hour and a half, I would guess, we'll be out of here. My boundary for this field is fairly old, not accurate enough for me to use the AutoPath boundaries, so we're doing old auto steer lines that I've got saved in here. At that one fertilizer row that's high and the one that's low, I'm sure that one of my conceals on row 24 is plugged up. Now, I have run a wire up them multiple times to fix it. That's not it. So I need to take it apart at the splitter, the Y, and see if there's a chunk of something in there or something. But for some reason, one of the lines on row 24 isn't quite getting enough fertilizer, so it's pushing it to row 23. And, you know, they're a little off. Now, they're still getting fertilizer on both of them. It's not the end of the world. But I've been trying to figure that one out, so we'll see what we can figure out. Rylan, I was thinking about doing a live stream. Should we do a live stream while we're here?
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to do that? Okay. We might do that after I get some end rows done. The problem is I won't be able to film much for you guys because I'll be tied up on my phone doing a live stream. So here's the planter. And the next clip, or after I start my live stream, you probably won't see us until we're about finishing the field up. Before we get too far, we're on a live stream, we're gonna see if we can fix that fertilizer discrepancy, imbalance, we'll call it an imbalance. So it's on row 24, it's the last one here, so when all the corn comes up and is yellow, it'll be 2 rows next to each other, and they'll be like, why didn't they go fix this stuff? Yeah, well, we're trying. Right here, there's a splitter. We're gonna try and take that apart and see if there's something plugging it up in there. Well, didn't find any dirt or anything in there, but I cleaned it out as best I could. One of the lines does have a slight kink in it, though. I think that might be our problem. So I straightened it out best I could, tried to pinch it back open. It's still passing fertilizer through, like it's not at 0, right? I don't have any more line with me, so when we get back to the farm sometime, we'll put a new hose on that row, that one line. Maybe that'll fix our problem. It's better. They're more even now than they were. These 2 here are still lower. That's an orifice issue. We've got the wrong size orifice in that one nozzle body. I got a new one coming. I just haven't got it yet. Okay, well, we just finished up our live stream. We're just about done here. A couple more rounds, it looks like. We got some end rows to do in front of this house. We have a seed bin that is about empty, so we're going to try and get these ends done. We might have to go level them up, or it's a good thing I threw those 4 bags on. Let's put it that way. So enthusiastic. He's trying to get this weed that we just went over. Oh, there's a rock. Got fertilizer on it. We're going to check our seed bin here. One's telling me it's low, so there can't be much left in it. And even them out if we need to. I've got 4 bags here on the platform that we'll throw in, but I want to use up what we've got first. Oh yeah, this one's empty. This one's not. I knew that because my my seed tender ran out about 200 pounds short, so there's probably about 200 pounds more in here than the other one. We need to move 100 of it. I may have overcorrected. We'll see. Rylan, ask me what you just asked me.
Why is the red and green seeds?
Why is there red and green seeds? All right, you guys see that? We have some red and mostly green kernels. We're gonna go talk about it. Quick seed check while we're in. Dig right here.
Okay.
We got a seed right there.
It better be red.
Keep going. You gotta dig this way. Long. Keep coming back this way. Gotta be in there somewhere.
Skip the road.
Keep going. Back this way farther. Keep coming. Come on.
Red. We're looking for reds.
I think you flipped it out.
Like it.
Right there's one.
Aw.
There was one in there. You moved it.
Oh, it's right here. There's one right here.
Yeah, there it is. Okay.
Oh, green.
Okay, red and green corn seeds. Why do we have red and green corn seeds? Well, the color that you see is part of the seed treatment, right? Corn is treated just like I treat soybeans. It has fungicides and insecticides on it in order to protect that seedling. The colors are just colorant so that it doesn't look like regular corn and get sold into the elevator or something where it would then contaminate a food or feed supply. So, why are there different colors? Well, the corn that we planted is all what we consider traded corn. This particular variety that we're planting right now is a golden harvest number. It is G05U08. 05U08 slash or dash DV. DV stands for Duracade Viptera. So this corn is Duracade traded and Viptera traded. And I know what that means is that it has 2 corn borer traits, 2 rootworm traits, and the Agrasure Viptera trait, which is for broad lepidopteran pests, things like black cutworms, western bean cutworm, corn earworm, that kind of stuff. So, it is also Roundup ready, or I shouldn't say Roundup ready, I should say glyphosate tolerant, GT, and Liberty Link corn, Liberty resistant. So yes, this is what you would consider GMO corn. I don't like referring to it as GMO corn because that has such a bad rap, but it shouldn't. It's traded. It is engineered to resist insects and herbicides that make farming so much more easy and more productive. Allows us to grow better crops more efficiently. So, why are there different color seeds? Because I didn't explain that, right? Well, when we have insect-traded corn, meaning it has either corn borer or rootworm insect traits in it, it is important from a resistance management standpoint that we have a certain percentage of those plants that are not resistant to those pests. Essentially, the red kernels that are in that seed add up to 5% of the kernels total, and they are the refuge seeds. They are glyphosate traded, they're herbicide traded, but they are not traded for insect resistance. So if a corn borer came and ate one of those red coated seeds after the plant developed from that, it would not die. If it eats on one of the green coated plants, it will die. Now, if a corn borer was to become resistant to that trait, we don't want for all of the corn to be traded so that the only corn borers that reproduce are the resistant ones, because then all of the corn borers would be resistant to the corn borer trait in a very short amount of time. By providing, I see it, there's a turkey over here. By providing the refuge seed for those corn borer to feed on, some non-resistant corn borers will survive, breed with the resistant ones. Their offspring will then most likely be non-resistant and will continue to be controlled by the trait. It's a refuge. It's there to help prolong the life of that trait. That's why. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but red seeds are better. Bugs eat them and they don't die. That's better.
Why is that better? We don't want bugs to eat our corn.
If they eat it, the plant won't die.
If they eat the corn won't produce an ear. The corn plant might die. So we don't like corn borers or rootworms. They make our corn not grow very good. So the green ones control that and keep them from making our corn bad.
So rootworms are bad, but earthworms are good.
Earthworms are good, yes. Earthworms don't feed on corn roots. Rootworms eat corn roots.
They help your corn grow.
That's exactly right. But they don't die from the corn because they don't eat the corn.
Yeah. Wait. If animals eat corn, they die?
No. If insects, corn and rootworm eat corn, they die. We'll talk about this more in a minute. I got a plant along this edge. Okay, we got that pass along the edge done. We got one more round to make here. Now, you said something when we were finishing that up. You remember what you said? You asked about animals. And the traded corn. He said
the tractor has 370 horsepower.
Okay, we're not talking about the tractor horsepower. He said that so if an animal eats the corn, it will die. No, that is not true. That's not how this works. So the Bt protein that is in this corn that makes it resistant to corn borer and corn rootworms, it is a protein that binds to a cell receptor inside the gut of an insect. And only very, very specific insects have this receptor, this specific receptor in their guts. And so if you do not have that, which humans, mammals, reptiles, most animals, vast majority of animals, all animals except for a couple of insects, do not have, this protein is completely benign. It won't harm you in one way, shape, or form at all. It just passes right through their digestive system and has absolutely no effect on them. So they're 100% safe, and
except for some animals, it's not 100% safe.
It is for all animals except for corn rootworms and corn borers. And in the case of Diptera, the broad lepidopterans, which is like flying insects like moths and stuff that will then turn into caterpillars and eat.
I know why.
Corn.
I know why a rootworm
Western bean
died.
cutworm, black cutworm.
I know why a rootworm died, because the corn's bigger than the stomach, so it can't even fit.
No, that's not exactly it either. So, anyway, if you have more questions on this, I know this is a hot topic in the agriculture or the food world and stuff, but we as farmers are not forced to plant traded corn. We're not, it is not forced upon us. 98% of the crop in the United States is traded corn because we choose for it to be. I have options to not plant it if I don't want to. I choose to because I can grow better corn. I can produce more bushels. I can make more money. Yeah, it is about profit. But we can feed more livestock and in turn raise more meat. We can produce more ethanol. We can produce more exports. We can produce more food using traits than we could if we did not use traits. There's our turkey friend over there. Well, we made it. Didn't even need my bags of seed, so I don't know. There's not much left in the planter. We'll have to see how much and figure out what we're going to do with it. But we'll plan it out somewhere. Anyway, we're folding back up. We're going to head back to the farm, see if Dad's around there or Phil or what's going on. It's, what time is it, Rylan? 6:30.
We can still go plant beans.
I don't know what we're going to do.
Plant beans.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to go and plant beans. I should, probably, if Phil's not. But
please, I really
we got a long trip to get to where we need to go. There's 100 acres, 120 acres that I wouldn't get done tonight. And I would need seed. Somebody'd have to come pick me up. It'd be a whole thing. I don't know. We'll head for home and figure it out.
8430?
Yep. All right, we made it back to the farm. Phil's planting beans, so I don't have to go do that. That's good. So he's getting some stuff done there. I forgot he had loaded the planter up to go to a field that was closer here. He was waiting for that to dry out. So he's getting it planted now, and then he'll go to where Dad was disking today. He's getting the seed used up that was in the planter. So that's good. I'm going to go talk to Dad here. The only thing I might do yet tonight is go down the road here and plant out those little bit of seed that's in there. I don't think we can do, 5 acres maybe, if even that. Look in the seed tanks, but then we can get loaded up for tomorrow. Well, I looked in the planter seed tanks there, and there was only a half a bag or so. This is all I got out of both tanks, so it wasn't worth going to the field. So I emptied it. We're empty. We're going to go ahead and get loaded up for tomorrow. We're going to put full tanks, well, not full, but fertilizer, a bunch of fertilizer and a full box of seed in. The next 4 fields are all getting the same variety, and we're going to use up a full box. Well, we're finally getting some empty corn boxes to feel like I got something done. I only had 1 before today, now we got 2, or we will. Our talc applicator's working. I got it pretty low rate, but it's doing what it's supposed to do. That's good. 1,140 pounds in each side, full box. We loaded up fertilizer. We got about 700 gallons of my 2x2 on that tank. I pumped the 100 gallons that was in there up to the front tank there, so we got a little over 800 of that. We got 400 gallons of my pop-up. We won't be able to plant all this seed out, but it'll do the first 2 fields, which are down there. So the other side of my seed warehouse, we've got the bean plot there, but then along those woods are on the other side of it. That's the cornfield that we're going to tomorrow morning. There's 46 acres there. Directly across the road by that house over there, there's like 9 acres. And we've got enough fertilizer to do those 2 pieces in the morning. Watch this. Scale. It's counting down. Getting close. The light came on. 40, 30, 20. Shuts it off. Lets the slide clean out. 10. Done. And now we move it to this one. Hit the stop and go button. And it starts back over to 1140. And it should be empty of the box. We probably won't quite get to the full 1140 because let's empty the auger out into the bucket that's down there. That's awesome though. All right, we are loaded up, ready to go in the morning. We should have a reasonably big day tomorrow. I'm debating whether I want to try and get my corn plot in tomorrow. It goes in one of these 4 fields that I'm trying to plant. So if I screw around and do that, we won't have that big of a day. If I don't, we should get 300 acres planted tomorrow. Do I want to plant 300 acres tomorrow ahead of a potentially cold rain coming on Tuesday? I don't know if I do. Do I want to put my plot in ahead of a potentially cold rain on Tuesday? I don't know if I do that either. But the rain's going to be Tuesday night, so tomorrow it'll have more than 24 hours. It should be fine. I don't know. Tomorrow's the 28th of April. It's still early, but it is definitely prime corn planting window right now, so we'll see. We are kind of running out of places to plant beans, though. Phil's got that 120 that he can do tomorrow. He's got this 40 he's going to get done tonight, and I don't know if he's going to do any more than that. I would doubt it, but maybe. But then the remaining fields that we have here at Waldron, we have 3 fields along the river, including the one that was totally underwater 3 weeks ago. They're not really dry enough yet. They have not dried out from the flood. So I don't know that we're going to go there just yet. And then we have 2 other ones close to where he's working now, but they're some of the crappiest, wettest, non-tiled farms that we have. And that's it. Other than going to Berkey, which Dad decided was too wet when he went down there yesterday. So he might get kind of caught up to the point where he can just do some tillage for me for a little while. I've got a lot of stuff we can plant to corn over the next 2 days if we want to, but we'll figure that out tomorrow. I'm figuring out if Tony can even come to help me plant the plot if I wanted to tomorrow. It's going out here. It's going in this field across the road from the farm. Yeah, we'll let her dry out a little bit more overnight, see what things look like in the morning, and then try and have a big day planting corn. So thanks for watching this one. Have a great night, and let's have a great week here. We're going to get a little bit more done, and then we're going to have some rain delays, it looks like, but that's okay. We've done really well for the last 7 days here now, so not a bad little Sunday afternoon corn planting. Got our 70 acres done, some groundwork. I'm feeling really good about where we're at, and we're just going to keep pushing forward. So Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Give me a thumbs up if you would. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. If you missed the live stream today, go check that out and watch for some more. I try and schedule them. I didn't today, but it's sort of hard sometimes. You just like, hey, now's my chance, so let's go. So thanks, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow.